Hi everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor, and today we have the best player from BU. He graduated last year, and we're going to be asking him some interview questions.
Thank you, Billiards Doctor. It's my pleasure to be here. Quite a title, best player from BU from last year. Let's put it this way. Yeah, ready whenever you are.
Okay, the first question. Tell us some tips you have for beginner players.
I don't want to sound obvious, but I think in most cases practice is key to success. Doing drills, staying confident, having a plan in mind when you shoot, not hitting the ball too hard. I did a fair amount of coaching and training when I was in Boston University as a student, and those seem to be the biggest issues the younger players and amateur players had when they just picked up the game.
What's the biggest thing that beginner players do incorrectly?
That's actually a pretty simple question. Hitting too hard and not following through, and expecting the ball to do the same thing as it would do with a good stroke. A really easy, I think for me, a really easy way to understand stroke and following through is think what you're trying to achieve when you're putting stroke on the ball. You're trying to follow through. You're not hitting it hard, you're not punching it, you're following through, penetrating, like stabbing something. That's kind of the motion and the feeling that that you get when you follow through. Hitting the ball too hard, not shooting with a plan in mind. As I already mentioned, don't want to repeat myself too much. But yeah, those things seems to be the biggest issues.
What drills do you do to practice?
I have several drills that I do on a semi-regular basis. I don't get to play as much pool as I would love to because, fresh out of college, unfortunately, well, not unfortunately, but fresh out of college doesn't have that much free time, fresh graduates. But one of the drills that I really like to do is I would set the balls amongst the rail, just near the diamond. I think that's the easiest way to do it. And just shoot them and try to run out without hitting other balls and missing, which is pretty obvious. So you can set up as many balls as you would like, but you can start with 6, you can start with 4, you can do even less, but the more you do the better. So I'll just shoot the 15 ball, try to get shape on 14. Here we go. I'm gonna make 14, get the 5. Depending how good the shape is, I will go for something else. So I played it with some inside English, with outside English in that particular case.
What other
and
drills
so on.
do you like doing?
Oh yeah, let's get back to the drills I like. So another drill that I really like to do is just spread the balls on the table. You're trying to put them slightly away from the rail so that it wouldn't be extremely difficult to run out, something in that sort. I try to put as many balls on the table as possible because I've done this drill for quite a while. But the idea is you're trying to run out without hitting the rail with a cue ball. Banks, perfectly fine, but just not hitting the rail with a cue ball. So, made the ball, didn't get a great shape on 15, so I'm gonna go for the 9 ball, make the 9 ball, hopefully not hit a rail, which will be pretty bad. So, here we go. Played it with a semi stop shot, really slow. Get 15, got the 5. I think I got a pretty decent shape on 15, so I'm gonna make 15 with a stop shot, play 12 down the rail. Yeah, that's another drill I like to do. What else? I'm catching my breath, talking really fast. But those seems to be the drills that I do pretty much every time I come to the pool hall to practice. Yeah. Also playing against better players, I think it's pretty important.
What are you thinking about during your shot?
Well, focusing, trying to stay calm. Worst case scenario is let's say you find yourself in a losing situation. You're not losing anything but gaining experience unless you're betting money. But the thing is, I try to focus on what I want to do. I always shoot with a plan. I try to kind of schedule the run out ahead of time. So I basically keep at least 3 shots ahead of time in my head when I'm shooting. And if you focus on your shooting routine, it just seems to work out best for me.
What do you do when you're not playing well? Like, how do you recover?
Well, if any of my fellow friends from BU are watching, they know that my mental game is not as good as I would like it to be. Well, just like I mentioned, experience is always good. Believe in yourself. At some point, the expertise will come, given that you practice enough and stay confident. Mental game is a huge element. That's why many very formidable players don't achieve as many as they could. And I think just being confident is the key. Knowing that you're good and you will get better.
Okay. Matches can be really long sometimes, and sometimes players can wear out and get tired, whether it's mentally or physically. What do you do to keep going during a long match or a tournament?
Well, even though I prefer short races, I think that's the format that I do the best at. I think just staying calm, enjoying the game, having the hunger for the competition is really important. Back in the days when I was just in love with pool, I can probably play races to 50 in one sitting, 50 racks of 8-ball, and it would take 6 hours non-stop, but nonetheless, just enjoying the game, taking time outs, breathing out, not being afraid of taking breaks in between shots if you feel like it. Wash your hands, wash your face, breathe. You're gonna run out because you're good. Yeah.
What's your favorite game of pool to play?
I played pretty much everything in terms of billiards games. I think 9-ball. 9-ball just seems to be the stuff I like the most, even though I do play quite a lot of 8-ball because that seems to be the most popular in bars and places where I hang out currently. But I'm gonna say 9-ball. I do see advantages of 10-ball over the 9-ball, but that's pretty much it. Straight pool, not my particular cup of tea. Rotation, I think it's awesome, but it's just a bit slower in comparison to 9-ball, and I can't find any semi-decent rotation players in where I live right now, so 9-ball is where I'm at right now.
What is the weakest part of your game? What's the part of your game that needs the most improvement, in your opinion?
Well, that's pretty easy to answer. My mental game, obviously. I'm a good front runner, meaning that if I get a good advantage over my opponent in terms of few racks, I do, rush to victory better. But when I'm behind, I'm just slagging it. I do go hard on myself, blame myself for missing easy shots and things of that nature. But yeah, mental game is definitely my weakest point, my biggest weakness.
Who's your favorite pro pool player to watch?
Oh, this is a no-brainer. Earl Strickland. I'm a diehard for Earl. That's the player who I'm trying to follow as much as possible. The technique of whose I greatly admire, and I think he's phenomenal. Even though he's not at his best right now, Earl. I hope you're watching. I love you. You're the best. But he actually suffers from the same issue I think I do, mental game. But he's obviously his level of game is far superior to anyone I know, and he's my favorite player, Earl Strickland.
Okay, Mike. Well, it was great to have you in this interview. Anyways, everyone, this is the Billiards Doctor. Stay tuned for more videos.